Yeah.
Yeah.
The Retirement Mountain would be.
You know what? It seems warm in here, Brian.
I'll take care of that for you.
Retirement.
Alright, you guys are live on that one, and this one's
You're
recording.
gonna be. Okay, let me put you over here, and we'll start talking.
What's that?
I'm going to be moving
Do whatever you
around.
want.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And then if you could send us whatever you got, that'd be great. Like pictures, if you take pictures, that'd be great.
Okay,
Awesome.
okay.
I'll get you in touch with Natalie. And
That'd be
I'll
awesome.
get you the phone number after the show, so you'll have it. Or you'll hear it. You'll hear it on the video.
Oh, well, he said Natalie's number.
Well, Natalie, have a direct line. Okay.
What's that?
That I do not have at Natalie's direct line. But I can give you the office line. Okay? That's just the news. We have a few minutes.
what's that?
We have a few
Okay.
minutes. It's like boiling in here, okay? Can you hear me? No, it's boiling. It's really hot in here. It's very hot in here. Can you hear me? You gotta turn the air on a little bit, otherwise I'm gonna boil, melt like the Wicked Witch of the West.
We don't want that.
Can you freaking hear me or what? Okay. Okay, thank you. How much clearer can I be?
My wife has got our air conditioning at night at 67.
Woo.
Oh,
67.
We're gonna have some
Oh
nice
my
bill.
gosh. I am so cold. And she
Oh
says,
my
well,
God.
you can put clothes on.
Oh, though that is true. I'm sorry to say that, Darcy.
She's kinda right,
It
right?
is true.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. Okay, I'm gonna go, let me see what we're.
So
We
the
have-
Retirement Mountain, we'll be showing it in July in Phoenix.
July or June?
Well, it comes out in June, but we probably won't get it out to theaters here
July
till
in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Wow. It's cool that movies are
That's-
turning into things like this. you
Yeah,
know?
it's another marketing
I
way, right?
love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Better. Yeah. See, there you go. You just have one ad, right? You could, I think you maybe have one or two
I
ads.
think I could do another one
Yeah.
sometime. Maybe next time.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
yeah. I'm gonna go live, okay? Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm excited about bringing on my first guest with everyone. It's been well, you've been here, but been out that we've been doing replays. I have with me Darcy Bergen, and he is the owner of Bergen Financial Group. You are an author. You are a movie producer.
Yes.
Okay. And you help people. We're going to talk today a little bit about how people can become a millionaire the lazy way.
Yes.
First off, I want you to tell a little bit about yourself, and because everybody
Sure.
has to hear about that. And then I want to talk a little bit about the movie that's coming
Yeah.
out, and then we'll go ahead forward. Go
Sure.
ahead.
Yeah. I'm 56 years old. I was born in Canada. Lived overseas with my parents. They were missionaries. Moved back to Canada for high school, and then moved to the United States, God's country, in year 2000. Been here ever since. Married, 3 kids, 2 grandkids now.
Oh, wow.
We did that movie. We produced M&A last year, mergers and acquisitions, and this year coming out with a movie called the retirement mountain, all about how do we climb that mountain and stay on the mountaintop and not fall off.
How exciting for you.
Yeah.
And it's going to be coming out in July, so
Yeah.
it'll be exciting. We're going to be talking about that again next month, and then we'll be able to promote it even more
Sure.
so. Now, I do want to talk about your book too, real quickly. You have the book, it's the Punch Your Retirement Passport. I want you to talk a
Yeah.
little bit about that as well.
Yeah, well, today we're going to talk a little bit about what young people should do with money, but the book is really about how to enter that next stage of life, what to do 2, 3, 4, 5 years before retirement, and what kind of passport you need to punch each page to get a successful retirement. We call it kind of the retirement plan. Make sure you have a plan. Don't just enter retirement. Don't just take Social Security. Don't just take money out of an IRA.
Know
and
what
pay
you're
tax.
doing.
Yeah, it's all about tax planning. 1, 2, income planning, investment planning, estate planning. All that stuff needs to work.
Absolutely. Now, today you said you want to talk about how to become a millionaire the lazy way, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm in. How do you do that?
Well, I tell my older clients who are retiring, grandma, grandpa, or mother, father, I say, do you have any children or grandchildren working at McDonald's? Oh yeah, they're starting to work at McDonald's, they're 16 years old. Man, if you could just give them some money, kind of match what they make in a Roth. $500 a month at age 18. If your 18-year-old saves $500 a month for 7 years and then stops, doesn't save another dime the rest of their life, at 10% return, they're going to have $3.5 million at age 65.
Wow.
That's the magic of compound interest. Can you imagine 18 to 25, you just get out of school and then you stop saving for the rest of your life. And that money, Roth, completely income tax free in retirement.
And can you imagine that just in 7 years? That's
7
really
years.
not that much time.
Take a little bit later. Let's say we start at age 25. So we didn't start at 18. We graduated college and we started to put money away, paid our student loans, and did $500 a month for the rest of our life. All through the years till age 65, we only have $2.5 million.
And tell them why that happens.
That compound interest of 10% return, the money doubles every 7 years. The doubling, that last doubling from age 58 to 65 took the account from 1.75 to just over that to 3.5 million. That doubling of time. So the time is the key. It's never too early to save. And if you're a grandma or grandpa and you want to give your children knowledge and wisdom and money, teach them how to save $500 a month by helping them do that. Give them the money in a Roth. Tell them, look, I'll do this as long as you're working a job and as long as you don't touch it.
You know what? I love that.
If you touch it, I stop putting the money in.
I love what you're talking about. And the reason why I do want to talk about this for a minute, and you've worked with a lot of people who are trying to save their money and trying to figure out what they're going to do with it. And a lot of times I find that older folks, maybe there's a different approach now, but they're like holding on to it. Well, why is that?
Well, the people born in the 30s, they're savers, right? Because they know what it's like not to have food, right? And then the army, World War II, people came back and they worked hard and they invested. And then the baby boomers have this investment mentality, and now the kids are having even more of an investment mentality. So it's when we're 65 years old right now, I feel that 65, 70, they're like, well, the grandkids could do it themselves. They need to learn it themselves, but sometimes they don't learn it themselves, and school doesn't teach it.
No.
They're learning it through social media in a big way. It's surprising. I've got nephews that have started saving money and investing, and they're talking about their portfolio of $1,000.
I think that's great.
Boy, that's exciting. But if instead of leaving an inheritance behind and no knowledge, no wisdom, it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But if you teach them by, look, I did this $500 a month last year for you, and I'm going to do it again, and look what the account did. The market went down, and you still made money because you were buying all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key of regular investing. It doesn't matter if the stock market goes down. So you're teaching that 18-year-old who now is 25, right? You did it for 6-7 years, and what a base of knowledge for the rest of their life.
Now, for investing, would it be only a Roth, or what do you suggest?
Well, man, the Roth is the best thing there is because they'll never pay tax on the growth, they'll never pay tax on the income, and they'll never pay tax when it goes to their heirs. So the Roth is the best. We're only allowed to do about $7,000 a year, so $500 a month is perfect. $6,000 a year, that first $500 a month should go to a Roth. Now, you have to make $6,000 a year at work. So if you're working at McDonald's and you make $10,000 that year, you can do $6,000 to a Roth. So you're doing the most you can do to the Roth before you get into over the limits, and you have to make a little bit of money. So babysitting job, McDonald's, whatever it is, match that income up to $6,000 in a Roth for your grandchildren or children, and they will learn something nobody else will learn.
Now, you know, when you talk with your clients, I'm sure you sit
Yeah.
down with them, and these are the things that you go over with
Yeah.
them, right?
Yeah.
And you work with people. One thing that I know that you like to do is you like to do like a little, what they call a financial checkup.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And you do like to do things over the phone real quickly first to find out, are we a fit? He's A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and he'll do a free consultation with you. He works statewide. You have offices in Mesa, Scottsdale, and Peoria, and also in California, where
Yeah, San Diego.
in San Diego as
Yeah.
well. And you know, you could check him out on his website. It's retirewithdarcy.com. His phone number to call, it's 480-430-2337. What I really like what we're talking about here, it's not just what you're going to do, but it's also what you're going to do to help your family, help the grandchildren become the millionaires. Oh my God, the lazy way.
Yes,
I love
that's
that. And it just makes sense. What would be your final words before we go to a break?
You know, that $500 a month you're putting, it's easy. Just do the S&P 500 index, easy, low fees. That index has done 10% over the last 30 years, 15% over the last 15 years. I'm just using 10% return.
I love that, and I love the fact that you want to help the family, you know, as well. That it's not, you know, just looking out for your client, but their whole entire family. His phone number to call again, it's 480-430-2337. Check him out on his website. It's retirewithdarcy.com. We're going to go to a break, and we're going to come back. We're going to talk further. Have a financial checkup with him. He loves to do that. Again, it's 480-430-2337. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a minute. Did I do okay?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Okay.
Really good.
Now we're going to keep on talking in here because we are still live.
Yeah.
On anything there, did you want to say anything that you didn't?
Well, let's just talk a little bit about the concept of dollar cost averaging.
Okay.
I mean, the dollar cost averaging concept is if I buy investments, stock market, risk investments, but I buy the same investment every single month. If the stock market plummets, crashes, goes down, it doesn't matter because I'm buying. If the share price is at half price and I'm putting the same dollar in, I'm getting double the shares. I just need it to go back up eventually.
So
in 5
somehow
years.
you have to do that consistently?
Consistently.
Right.
You just do it every single month. So if it goes up, you're making money.
Mhm.
If it goes down, you're not making money, but you're buying
You're still the same.
at the better price.
Okay,
So when
okay.
ultimately the market comes up, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is, you make a ton of money because you bought all those cheap shares. You just need the market to be up when you need to sell the account. So you need to be up when you're retired. So if you're
Right,
20
so
years away,
wait a little
you
bit.
got long
Right,
time.
right.
So people should be doing that in their 401k. They shouldn't be putting the new money in to a balanced fund or a target fund. The new money, every paycheck, should be buying all equity, all stock, all index. The $1 million they have in the 401k, that's different. You want to diversify. But the money you're putting in, dollar cost averaging is an almost risk-free way of investing.
Well, I think that makes a lot of sense, but people have to be consistent about doing it and
Yep.
not worry so much about, and you know, if the people that are doing that should already have the money to do it.
Yeah,
As far
that's
as
right,
I'm
for sure.
concerned.
You got to
right?
put the money away and it's
And
not, not there.
Right, exactly.
If you need it for something that's more of an emergency fund, it's a little
Right.
different. Do we want to do the mortgage now, or
Oh, yeah, I think
finish
so.
up on the kids, or
That's
is that
what,
good?
well, I think we're gonna finish up on the retire,
Okay.
with the tax-free,
Good.
right?
Well, tax-free?
That's what
I'll
I
do
have.
that one first.
What was the kids that you wanted to say?
The next one I was going to say is, do we pay off our mortgage more every month?
That's the one I've got
Let's
right
do the
now.
mortgage. Do I
Right.
invest or do I pay down my mortgage?
Right, that's
Or
what
pay
I've got.
extra against my
Okay.
mortgage?
he's a new guy, so I'm kind of watching him.
How we doing over there, Daniel?
I got some really
Good.
awesome photos,
Awesome.
actually. Yeah, I'm making a collage right now.
Good, awesome, cool.
Work at McDonald's and become a lazy millionaire. I love that.
Just do it for 7 years.
Yeah,
that's
7
it.
years is like nothing. When you think about it, it's really sad that they don't teach
Oh
this
my gosh.
in
It's-
college.
it's
I mean,
yeah.
in school.
You know, my daughter-in-law, she learned it, she went to school in California, and the school she went to, they taught it.
Mm.
And she's 29 years old. She
That's awesome.
bought her own house, or my daughter-in-law, money in the bank, money in her Roth money.
That's
She knows
awesome.
all
But
that
she also
stuff
has
because
you.
she did learn it. No, she learned it before me.
Wow.
She learned it all
That's
and
awesome. Here we
yeah,
go.
worked hard too.
So welcome back, everyone. You know, I've been enthralled with talking about becoming a millionaire the lazy way. We've been talking about, actually, I want to just say this for a minute about the fact that they don't teach in the school. Anybody who's a teacher, please, call Darcy, find out, and how maybe you can come in and start
Yeah,
teaching. us.
some schools have had me in and say, just do
That
a
would be
just do
so
a
awesome.
20-minute lesson in the business class or the math class.
Can you imagine what you would learn in
For sure.
20 minutes and change your life
It's
in 7
incredible.
years and become a millionaire? That would be so awesome.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk a little bit about mortgages, and I want to talk a little bit about what people should do about them,
Yeah.
because you wanted to talk a bit about, do I pay them down? Do
Yeah.
I not?
So in the previous segment, we talked about young people getting a job and just putting money away for a few years, right? So they do that, they save money, and then they go to school and they get out of school and then they get a job and they get a mortgage, right? So the question today is, do I get a 15-year mortgage? Interest rates are high; they're 7%, or do I get a 30-year mortgage? Well, you do what you want to do, but if you want to have more money and more choices, do both. So here's the key: if I take a
I love when they do that. Do both.
If I take a 30-year mortgage, let's say the mortgage is $400,000, right? My payment is going to be right around $2,600. If I take a 15-year mortgage, it's roughly $1,000 more. I pay it off quicker, right? And 15 years is much better than 30. To be exact, it's $956 a month more to pay it off in 15 years. Now, what I would do, I'd take the 30-year mortgage, and I'd take the extra $956, and I'd invest it. And I would dollar cost average that $956 into the stock market every single month. Because guess what? If the market goes down, I buy more shares. I just need the market to be up in 15 years. In 15 years, that $956 is worth $385,000, and I only owe $294,000. So I could pay it off in 14 years, I could pay it off in 13 years, or I could say in the 15th year, you know what? I don't want to pay it off. I've got $385,000 in my account. Why would I pay off my mortgage?
Right, but it gives you peace of mind.
Gives you
is
peace
what
of
I'm
mind.
feeling.
I can
Right.
write a check for the mortgage anytime. So I've taken the same dollar and I've got more money and I've paid it off even quicker if I wanted to than the 15 years. And by the way, that's only using a 10% rate of return on the S&P 500. The last 15 years it's done 15%. The last 30 years it's done 10%. So 10% is a reasonable rate of return to expect on money I'm putting in every single month.
If somebody already has this mortgage and
Yeah.
they're saying, "Oh my gosh, I should have done that," can they?
You can still do it. Yeah, just say to yourself, look, maybe I'm making an extra payment or something, or more payments. Take that extra payments that you were going to put towards and start investing that, and then have the best of both worlds. You can pay off the mortgage sooner, or you could say pay it down more if you want, but you have the investment that you can liquidate at any time.
But also
Yeah.
do something consistently. It's
Consistent.
something that you've been
Yeah.
saying a lot of.
Just like your mortgage payment's consistent. Have that same payment going into the investment world in dollar cost averaging. So when people say, should I take the 15-year or the 30? Do the 30, but pay it off quicker, even quicker than 15 if you do it right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think that it's important because you have to think about what you're doing with your money,
Yeah,
right? I'd
yeah.
also rather have my money
Sure.
than not,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But paying off your mortgage, oh gosh, living in a home that is paid off too,
Feel good,
that's
doesn't
kind
it?
of feels really good,
Yes.
right? I do want to talk really quickly before we go into this next little segment that you wanted to talk a bit about you. I want to talk about you for a minute
Okay.
because you are all about the 5 pillars of retirement
Yeah.
planning. And I do want to talk about, because it's going to kind of segue into what our next little segment is going to talk about. Let's talk about what they are.
So
okay?
I mean, it's like a stool. You've got 3-legged stool, right? You can't just worry about the stock market investments. That's one-legged stool. Your five pillars is kind of your 5-legged stool, right?
It's an extra leg.
Yeah, you've got to make sure your tax plan is right. You got to make sure your investment plan matches your tax plan. You got to make sure your income plan. When I'm going to take income out of my investments in retirement, does that match my tax plan and my investment plan? And of course, the estate plan from a tax strategy, or obviously you want your estate plan done right, and your long-term care or Medicare or health plan. So everything needs to work together. So many people worry about how much stocks and how much bonds and their allocation, and they're not thinking about, man, they're paying way too much tax. You know, it's not about rate of return. It's about what you keep.
Mhm, right.
So it's almost more about taxes than anything else, and you've got to make sure your investment plan, your retirement plan is tax driven.
Right.
I'll give you a stupid analogy. I went from Canada in 1998 to Disneyland. My wife and 2 kids. That was before cell phones did anything but make phone calls. We stood in line with our ticket. And when we got to the front of the line, an hour later, we gave our ticket and they didn't give us a map. They ran out of maps. So for 12 hours, we went on 4 rides and at 100 degrees weather. We didn't have a map. You gotta have a retirement map. You gotta have a map so you don't miss the ride
I like that.
of retirement.
I love that.
So yeah, it's very important to have your map mapped out of all the different.
It does
pillars.
make sense. Now, with this year, we're getting into,
Yeah.
obviously it's an election year, and also people are a little bit nervous
Yeah.
about the market
Sure.
and things like that. What are your thoughts before, I want to talk
You know-
about the last thing, but I just want you to get some of these things out.
Yeah, I'm pretty optimistic, but I'm always nervous about the market when it's at a record high. I mean, at a record high, it always goes down. So we know
It
it's
has
gonna,
to, what go up
we know it's
must
gonna-
come
yeah.
down.
So there's wars, there's Palestine and Iran and Israel and Russia and Ukraine and Mexico and Canada. I mean, all these countries are getting in trouble. So that's going to maybe cause some problems. We've been told by the Fed they're going to lower interest rates. They haven't, because inflation still is here. They've said maybe we'll do it in July. Well, if they do it, great. If they don't, maybe they raise rates. We've got problems. So got a lot of problems to worry about. So if I was 10 years from retirement, I wouldn't really care so much. But if I was retiring in 3, 4, 5 years, I'd be a little worried. I would not leave everything in the stock market.
No, definitely.
Right now, we've got high interest rates. We got a 5% fixed annuity rates. We got 4% CD rates. Take some of the money and put it into some that's going to earn a great rate for a long time.
Mhm. And also, I think being safe, most people, I don't think right now you want to take any chances. What do you think?
Well, the closer you are to retirement, the less chance you want to take.
Right,
You want
right.
you want to make certainty of an uncertain world, and you can do that.
And the biggest thing is how to retire in a with a tax-free income.
Yeah, I mean, we see it all the time. People retiring and paying way too much tax. If you get Social Security and more than $20,000 from an IRA, you're paying 22% tax, and you should only be in the 12% bracket. So the key is how much IRA can I take out, along with Social Security, to pay no tax. And if I supplement that with Roth income, no tax. If I supplement that with long-term capital gains, the right amount, no tax. So the key is have the right amount saved up and invested, but have it in the right place. So when you take it out, you have no income tax. So retiring with tax-free is done by having the right amount of Social Security at the right time, the right amount of money out of a pension or IRA, the right amount of money out of a Roth, and the right amount of money from a long-term capital gain. You could have $150,000 of your income, pay no tax if you do it right.
So again, doing it right and having that map, again, is
Yeah,
very
that's
important.
that's your
Because you
income
gotta
map.
draw the map for everyone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so we always talk about this too, the 15-minute phone call. Just
Yeah,
do a
that's the same.
15-minute phone call. It's called a retirement checkup. It's non-threatening. 15 minutes we can talk on the phone. I can tell you real quickly if you're on the right track and if you need to fine-tune things. There's no cost for that. There's no obligation. But take 15 minutes out of your time to start the map.
Yeah, and starting the map, but also I think the best thing to do too is if you're getting to the point where you're thinking, well, should I take my Social Security or not?
Yeah, big
I would
question.
love to start off with that because I
Yeah.
think that's the number one question that people have. Do you find that?
Yeah, oh, the
Right?
big time.
So
yeah.
you can help them make that
Yeah.
decision.
People have a couple questions. They say, do I have enough money to have the same income for the rest of my life, my lifestyle? Will my money last? 2, when should I take Social Security? And then should I convert IRAs to Roth IRAs? There's there's no rules on that, just pay the tax. So those are 3 amazing questions, and there's a right answer for everybody, and it's different.
And I do think that it should start with the 15 minutes, what he calls a financial checkup. It's easy, you do it over the phone. He's A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. His phone number direct, it's 480-430-2337. You can check him out on his website. It's retirewithdarcy.com. It is all about right now, I think, not holding on to your money and not having to pay taxes. The taxes is going to be huge.
Yeah.
But we just finished with tax season though, right?
Yes.
But so now you have to make sure that you're doing it right going forward.
Yeah. Well, one thing that people don't remember, or they don't know it is, if you're unemployed, retired, no work income, you could, married couple, take $120,000 of long-term capital gains and pay no tax on it. That's tax-free. So you might be delaying your Social Security a few years to crystallize the gains that you haven't paid tax on, and do it in a way that you don't pay tax on.
So what about the people that are, I'm going to say really quickly, that lose that? Let's say they lost a spouse. You want to make sure that they have to understand that they're going to lose that Social Security, but they want to be protected.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you come in as well.
Yeah, because we know the rules about Social Security. If one spouse dies, the other spouse gets the bigger check, and we want to make sure that it's a big enough check, and it's done right with IRAs and capital gains and all that stuff. So we kind of coordinate all that.
I think it's important, again, to start with the map. I think that's what it's
Yeah.
all about, but have somebody who is experienced that can help you with that map. That phone number to call again, it's 480-430-2337. He's A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. He works statewide, offices in Mesa, Scottsdale, Peoria, and in California as well. Check him out on his website. It's retirewithdarcy.com. I thought we had a little bit more time than we did, but that was good.
That was
Did
good.
you like it?
I love it.
Yeah, good.
It's good.
Perfect.
Easy
Let me
stuff
just
though,
turn
right?
this- I know,
Easy
you make it
stuff.
stuff. You
So
make it
easy.
easy, not so easy. I will see you in a month.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you
See ya.
Let me have a hug.
I,
Thank you for everything.
Yeah.